Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm not to throw you off. Same nightgown, same room, different day. As I was getting ready to edit this video, I realized that I think I lost the intro. So I'm just going to jump into the intro really quick. This portion of the craft room makeover purge situation has to deal with the desk. This was shot in June 11th and we've made changes since then, as I talked about in last night's video, evolution of organization. But what I like to do is really quick just jump in to tell you that this was just after we came back from Ohio and we had a bunch of stuff that we bought and we had to put it away, plus organize. So hope you'll enjoy. If you guys have any questions, I know I usually leave this to the end, but you know that the comment section down below, please just leave them there. And also, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to, subscribe to the channel, you can. There's a little button right here that says subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. It's free. And every day you'll get a little message in your inbox that I've got a video for you. So let's get into it. Okay, so first thing we're going to start with is putting away the things that we bought. Now, what I do when I haul stuff from the Dollar Tree during the pandemic, I usually take the old plastic bags. I unpack it in a different room. After everything's wiped down, I take bags that I've had in my stash for a million years, and I go ahead and I repack them. And I do like an initial organization then. If it's house stuff, I put it in if it's tissues, I put it in the pantry. If I buy batteries or whatever, I put it where they go and such. Anything else comes in here is obviously craft stuff. I also have a bag that I have going. I mentioned it in a previous video. It's sort of a little gift bag. It's just an old recyclable shopping bag. And then what I do is I find cute little inspirational notebooks or little trinket trays or things that I think that might be cute to add to a gift. And I just keep that in my guest room. I know when my guests come, they can pick through it if they want to. Hint, 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 come visit. Okay, so anyhow, that's just a suggestion that I have to use. Lots of times we want to buy stuff that's cute and we don't really know a use for it, but it is practical, believe it or not, to have a little gift bag or gift box in your closet, perhaps. You get invited to somebody's house for a last minute bruncheon. She basically maybe has a big announcement and you want to just give her something, got a promotion, and you're going to go out for drinks. You can always throw together something in the last minute if you keep yourself prepared. You won't have to go out to the store, and you can just get like general congratulations types cards, just that they could be multi-occasion, if you know what I mean. Now, some things that I like to keep in there that are out of the ordinary are, well, not out of the ordinary, like these gray mugs off to the side. I did buy them with intentions of actually using them in my home, but I have so many. And because, not that they're not special, because they do go with my house, but they're not like extraordinary. That doesn't even make sense. They're plain, so I can use them again for a multi-occasion type of situation. Someone's not feeling good, you can bring them, fill it with some cup of soup, hot chocolate, something like that, and then you can bring it over to them as a little get well gift or something along those lines. A housewarming, congratulations. You can really do whatever. I actually was thinking I would leave them in the craft room because I am trying to teach myself how to use like the permanent adhesive dishwasher safe vinyl that goes from your Cricut, and I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe we can make something on these mugs instead. So when it comes to storage, I've mentioned this before. You guys know I love rubber bands, right? Okay. So if you're young, like younger than 40, you may or may not know that we didn't always have ponytail holders. Or I shouldn't say that, that's not really the right way to say. Not everybody could afford ponytail holders. Ponytail holders weren't as affordable as they were now. So this lady grew up putting rubber bands in her hair. Now, yes, exactly how you're thinking. Ow. Unless you weren't thinking, ow. Tangles, 100% tangles. Loss of tons of hair. Yeah, that might explain a few things. But really, I ended up having like a little bit of a rat's nest because I didn't want anybody to brush my hair because taking the rubber band in and out every day hurt enough.
But that was only till I was about 10, and then that was the end of that. I started taking care of my own hair, and the rest is history. Okay. So what I've done is this is a repeat for you guys. I've seen this videos lots before. I take the candle mason jars from Dollar Tree and I put a slew of rubber bands in there to do organization projects and make them quick and easy to access.
See, I feel like that's the way it should be. You should hold it in your hand like this. This is the way I was taught to hold it in my hand. Now, am I wrong? Maybe. I don't know. That's the way I was taught. But I'm a righty, so that's why I said it was on the wrong side of the hand. See? That's how you're supposed to hold it. That's the way I was taught to hold it. That's why there's a thumb hole there for that reason. But they made it upside down. That's what I was trying to say to you people. I know it's supposed to go in your left hand. I know it's supposed to go in your left hand. Okay. Hi. Let me cut this off so I can show it to you without stabbing myself again 100 times. Okay. So this is the palette. What I was trying to say in my video was, this is where your thumb's supposed to go. And this, of course, it would be a little bigger because this is a small palette. But this is where your fingers were supposed to go. You get balance and stability to the palette. You can move it at an angle to adjust the light so that you can see what you're doing. However, that is in my right hand. And I'm a right-handed painter. So what I was trying to say was, I know it goes in your left hand. But it's not cut right for a righty. That's what I was trying to say. So technically you should be holding it like this, except all the cups are upside down. So now when you get a palette, like when you actually buy a professional palette, there's no indents. It's just a big board. So it is universal. However, this palette is not universal. Now, maybe I'm not holding it right. Maybe my teacher taught me wrong. I mean, that could be possible. But what I was saying in my whole video is it's made for a lefty painter. Because this is how you're supposed to hold it. And it only fits comfortably like that in your right hand. So that's what I was saying. I will still use it because I'll use it just uncomfortably. Plus it's smaller. I can actually do this. But I was just saying that. So if you missed what I was trying to say, that's what I was trying to say. If you had no idea what I was trying to say, that's what I was trying to say. And thank you for all of your comments and support and help. I appreciate it. I love that you guys help. I appreciate it. I'm going to put this with my board.
And I hope that clears everything up. I'm going to keep that palette where I keep my flexible cutting mats because I usually use them for palettes while I work around them. I think it's about time that I either strip them down to the bare plastic again or get new ones. Some of them are cut up pretty bad because I also use them as cutting mats with my X-Acto knives.
So some of you also in that video, I was off camera, did not see the stamp and did not see the unicorn. Do you see that? It's cute, right? This pen just has like different colors and then you snap them back. You can also snap them back using that, but if you want to close all of them, you can just do that, okay?
I know, it's silly. I don't know. But you guys act silly when you're just by yourselves and you're cleaning or you're talking to your friends on the phone. You can just be yourself and silly. I mean, that's what this is like for me. I can act silly if I want to, especially when I'm crafting. Do you ever get a random song stuck in your head and you're like,
I got a big bag of crumbs here. I'm gonna put them in my mouth for years. I'm gonna run around the town on a market day. I got a mouthful of crabs. Heebity 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 heebity. Okay, good. Ribbon in this basket. That's gonna go out to the ribbon basket. All of the tags. Okay. There's one hearts, which I have some hearts here. And then these ones I got. There's the other hearts. I have hearts. These ones I got for the closet. These are for the closet. We need to go out to the closet. Okay. Okay, what I want to do right now is put all these in here for a few minutes, for a second, or 7 or 12. Okay, and I'm gonna do it. Americana DIY. I got owls for my birthday party. I need to get more owls. That's what I could do. Jerry. What the heck, man? Okay. Boy. Jim? Oh, thought I heard Jim. Ah. It is Jim. Jim, is that you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I didn't do my list right.
Yes, thank you. Oh, God, that would be amazing.
We have to sometimes make a mess to organize a mess. I know that sounds silly. Some of you might have cringed when I dumped this box, but if you don't remember these boxes, I got them in Texas at the Cracker Barrel. They were a set of 3 for $17.50. I think they were 50% off of that. So they are amazing. They look like drawers, and I actually have the little one inside the big one, and you'll see that in a few minutes. But I love them. I love that they're like a little hidden storage. So one of the things we talked about yesterday about the evolution of storage, hopefully you like that little ASMR part, which is like just crinkly bag noises, is that perfect example of the crinkly bag. So I have this crinkly bag, and I have these Ziploc bags that came with some Easter grass.
This bag is not a toy. This bag is not a toy.
So not only is this a lesson in evolution of storage, but it is also, I hope, a lesson of repurposing and recycling.
And then just some miscellaneous things that I found. Miscellaneous knob. Oh, that's the other cap to the other stylus. Oh, 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 oh. The other stamp in here, or this stamp doesn't have a bottom? Oh, that's the bottom for that stamp. I wonder if it still works. Have they been working without the stamp? I don't know. There's this random flower. Actually, this cotton, this random cotton, this random, well, the random pick can stay there, but the random cotton needs to go. Okay.
Oh man, is that another piece of elastic from those wooden beads? Bummage. Yeah, so this is that kind of thing where you're like, I could just stick this little elastic in this jar with the rubber bands in case I ever need it at the table. Or I can stick it with it has to go back in the closet basket sort of section of the table. Yeah, because I have one of those too. Now, does anybody else keep random sections of ribbon? I know I do. I actually have them in a jar up on my shelf. I have one of my old pickle jars.
Oh, that's cute. Dang it.
So I previously mentioned the other wooden box drawer things that I have and how I doubled up the big one to add like a secondary storage inside it. That is exactly what I did here. What I like that little box in the middle to do is to like wrangle all my sharps. That's what I like to call them. So my extra box cutter and whatever scissors that might be specialty scissors that I don't use on a regular basis, I like to keep them there, my awl and such.
I'll find you, you little minxie. Find you.
I know, I told you I was crazy. You didn't believe me. But I know that the title of this video is related to the sort of organizing when you have limitations. This just happens to be on a day where we had traveled. It took a couple of days of rest, but I was still physically sore and in pain. And that was a few different reasons. You know, long hours in the car. We did a lot more walking and physical exercise than I'm used to in such a short period of time. That's usually what happens when I'm on vacation. And then I need like a couple of days to recuperate. This was literally like 2 days after we got home. One day was just basically resting, like no movement. But this day, obviously I did what I could. And I think that's an important thing to remember. And I know we talk about it. It's like a constant theme on the channel. You need to give yourself grace. You need to give yourself grace to have things done at your pace. Obviously, if you have a timeline, like you're getting ready for a holiday or you're going to move or have a garage sale, then obviously you have sort of a deadline. But when it's just you and you're just stuck at home and whatever it is, give yourself the grace. You don't want to be lazy. You don't want to quit. But you know you. And really, you're the only one who does. You know, your family may know you. They may say they know you better. But you know you. And like I've said before, you can lie to yourself. You can be honest with yourself. You know the truth. So it's not for me to judge. I don't know who you are as far as what's going on inside your head. I only know what you guys tell me. But be honest with yourself. You know, don't just say, I don't think I can do it, so I won't. That's sort of taking the cop-outs kind of way. But definitely go. You know, like how I determine how I'm going to feel is, no joke, I wake up in the morning and either I can kind of springy out of bed slightly, or I have to like move like a tank. I don't know how else to describe it. Just roll my heavy body out of bed. So those days when I'm like a tank, I will tell you, I know already what's going to be coming. So here's the thing. A tank, like an SUV or like a big suburban type of, you know, Land Rover kind of situation, it uses a lot of gas just to get in the same distance as, say, like, I don't know, a Prius. So some days we're like a Prius and we just have all of the energy on the world to do all the things and to go the distance without using as much energy. And then there's some days where we're just like a big old honking, Hummer type of thing. And, we're just going to need every ounce of fuel to get our butts out of the bathroom, if you know what I'm saying. So this was one of those days that mentally, I just wanted to do the things. Physically, my body was like, listen, I'm not really gonna let you do all the things you want to do. I know you're excited about getting all the things done, but no, we're not going to be able to do all those things. So that's why I chose to do the, Jimmy calls it like the easy job, but it's really like the sit down job. Organization requires a lot of job. No, let me start over. New teeth. Sorry. That was a joke. I don't have new teeth. Okay. A lot of organizational jobs require sitting down. Sitting down at this table, organizing the micro minutia. The micro minutia? What is wrong with me? Oh my goodness. A lot of organizing jobs require you to sit down to deal with the minutia of the organizing, the little pieces that need to get put back. For example, perfect example, I just pulled out my paintbrushes. These are paintbrushes that I wash. I wash them in the bathroom. I let them dry in the bathroom. And then eventually they have to come back here and get put away. 9 times out of 10, it'll be like the end of the day and I'll say to Jim, just throw them on my desk because they'll be in his way or whatever. And then they'll sit on my desk until I can get in here and put them away. That's how that works. It'll be either we bought something or perhaps I needed a craft item to do a project outside. Say Mom had a loose button and she wanted me to sew her button on. I will ask him to come in and get the needle and thread. He'll put it back on the table instead of putting it back where he found it. And I'm okay with that. He's already doing me a favor by getting me the needle and thread. So that kind of thing. So eventually you get to a point, or you could get to a point where you just have to like deal with the things and then you can move on. Now, the reason I have so many cleaning and organizing videos on my channel, to be honest with you, is that's just how I roll. And I like to share all aspects of my life with you guys. So you know that if you don't want to watch one of my videos, you can always click off. You guys know that. You can give me a thumbs down if that's that's not your cup of thing. But I will tell you, I just share everything that I do with you. And that's all I can ask. That's all I can give, excuse me. This is the way that I work. This is my modus operandi. This is my MO. This is the way I like to craft. I like to craft like Edward Scissorhands. If you ever watch that movie, he goes like 100 miles an hour and there's debris everywhere. And then, like the people in Edward Scissorhands, I follow behind him with the broom. The cleaner portion of me like follows behind him with the broom. And I will tell you the truth. Sometimes it's 7 days of crafting and 1 day of cleaning, and that's just the way it has to be. Some days it's an hour of crafting and an hour of cleaning up, and that's the way it has to be. I just know that I want to share everything that I can with you, and I want to motivate you to do the things that you think you can't do. Don't get overwhelmed by the things that need to be done and the vast amounts of things that need to be done. I will tell you, I hear from too many, and that's not right. I didn't mean that. That didn't sound right. I hear from so many of you that you just can't get motivated, and that sometimes a video that I've done has helped motivate you. And then I hear from you, some of you sometimes that say you still just can't get motivated. No matter what I show you, you can't get motivated. But I'm just going to keep going because eventually you may come to that one video. I've had viewers and subscribers who've watched 6 cleaning videos, and then finally the 7th one was the one that really did it. Maybe they saw a technique in there. Maybe they just, seven's their number, where they just got tired of hearing me talking about it and they just decided to get up and do it. But really, I want to be able to share with you that you can do whatever you set your mind out to. It may take you longer. It may be not as neat. It may be not as productive of a day that it normally used to be, or used to be in your youth, or was before. Or I know, I dare not say this because I know we don't compare ourselves to other people, right? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But it might not be as good as someone else will do it, but that's okay. That's okay. So I got these really cute umbrella looking hooks from wish.com, and they were free with $1.29 shipping and handling. So I got 3 plastic little umbrellas in shades of gray for $1.29, and I thought it was totally worth it. Totally worth it. I also got a set in rainbow. Actually, there's 2 sets. One set is like the green, blue, purple, and the other one is the red, orange, yellow. But I knew exactly where I wanted to use them in this space. I wanted to just show you how to use them really quick. I took a rubbing alcohol swab and I cleaned the surface that we're going to put them on. And then I'm taking these cute little umbrella hooks, go up through the bottom, and then there's like a little rubber gasket that holds the umbrella on. And you're thinking that it wouldn't be very strong, but boy, is it strong. It's really just like a cheap little piece of plastic and a little rubber gasket, but boy, is that strong. And then they give you these little double sticky backs, and they give you a couple extra too. So if you want to move them, you can. You have the ability to. But it is just some double sticky mounting tape. There's nothing special about it. It's not even like 3M. But it works really, really well. And praise Jesus, they've held up this whole time. So we're talking like a month or so since I hung them. And I wanted to show you this little trick. I have a tweezer that I keep in my craft room for all of the little fine motor things that I can no longer do. One of them being peeling the stickers off of, the backs off of stickers like this, because this was really hard. So I'm just going to stick them on, and then when I'm ready to hang them, I'm going to go ahead and peel it off with the tweezer as well. And finally get to the last one. Now I was kind of contemplating to like, how do I want to hang these? But I saw that in the place that I bought them on Wish, the ad for them, I guess you would say, or the posting, the listing. That was it. Listing. Couldn't think of the word. The listing had them like randomly lined up, and I thought that was really cute, and that's how I wanted to do them. So I put the dark gray one towards the top, the middle gray one in the middle, obviously, and then the light gray one I went ahead and I put towards the bottom. And I'll show you what they look like here in a second and how I want to use them. Now, the fact that I found a good reason to use them, and then we've got new nautical rope at the Dollar Tree, I kind of wish that I would have used the set of 6 here instead. But it's what it is. So I just stick it on that shelf, and then I am going to hang like my rope from it. Now, this particular rope that you're going to see me hang was actually from Wish itself. It's a little bit more like a braided cord than it is like a nautical rope or a jute, but it's sort of like a medium weight. It's somewhere, I feel like it lands somewhere between Dollar Tree's nautical rope and Dollar Tree's jute, kind of where it's somewhere in the middle. And I've just bolted them all together, and I'm just going to hang them up. Now, I do have this one white cotton piping. That's the way I always referred to it as, but I could have an official name. But it's basically whenever you're going to put piping onto upholstery job or like a slip cover or something, then you want to go ahead and add some sort of welting underneath it. And this is really what this is, this big giant white rope. It's really welting. So, but I like to use it for crafts. If you watched my tea tag holder, I used it for that in place of rope. But of course, then the Dollar Tree came out with nautical rope, and then they listen. What we do is we take it and we make something. We take something and make it into something else, and then they say, oh, let's make that for them because they're wrecking all our signs trying to make wood. Let's just give them some wood. That might be next. But what I just wanted to show you real quick is how to bundle it. It's a lot. I just wrap it around my hand, and then when I get to the very, very end, I know this is going to sound silly. I really don't mean for it to sound silly, but really not everybody does this stuff the same way. So I have been bundling rope like this and extension cords and fishing line and everything since I'm a little girl, because my dad is a fisherman and was a Eagle Scout and all the things with the knots. But not everybody does it. Not everybody knows how easy it is. So basically I wrap it around my hand, except for the last foot or so, and then I wrap it around the midsection, and then I usually tuck the end in and kind of almost create like a self knot with it without actually knotting it. And then I'm going to do the same thing with an extra piece of jute, and I have them all hanging there. They're really pretty. Side note, as I am editing this, I realized that I would like to tell you that I have gotten a lot of feedback from you guys, and I do appreciate the feedback of how you want these videos to go. Some people don't like the voiceover. Some people only want live. Some people don't like fast forward. Some people only want slow motion or average motion. I will apologize ahead of time if you're the kind of person that doesn't like fast motion, but there's no joke. This is like total 35 hours of cleaning projects, and I really can't show you 35 hours of cleaning projects. You might be home and bored, but I don't have the time to be showing you 35 hours of cleaning projects. Maybe one day. And I thought about this because we just did a successful live stream while I was hauling something from Aldi. We learned a lot of things. I want to tell you, a lot of people had feedback there too. I appreciate it. But we also learned a lot. We learned how to do it better, Lisa and I. So maybe one day we'll do a live stream while I'm cleaning, and you guys can tell me what to do with all my stuff. Okay? So back to the DIY. No, it's not a DIY, is it? No. Back to the organizing. So just like I said a few minutes ago, sometimes you have to make a mess to clean a mess. So as I pick a pile and deal with that pile, then I can go on to the next pile. And then sometimes as you find the next pile, you realize, well, this should probably go with that. For an example, like have this box, the big box has the sharps in the middle, but then it has like ink and glue bottles around the outside. And then I'm like, oh, maybe that's where my rubber stamp stuff that I keep on my desk should go. I have rubber stamp stuff over by the paper storage, but I have some alphabet rubber stamps and alphabet rubber stamps and a couple of ink pads that I keep on the desk here, just in case. You never know. Kelly Barlow uses her ink pads to distress edges of paper and stuff, and I think that's a really neat idea, and you never know, like I might be inspired to do it one day, so I just keep my ink pads here. Okay. Now I mentioned yesterday that we have a jewelry making tools that we have specifically for jewelry making. This little tiny wire cutter was actually from the Dollar Tree by the Floral Wire ages ago. It actually does work really well for the fine wire. That's why I keep it with the fine wire. And I was gifted some beautiful wire, so I just have an abundance of it. I will tell you that I recently hauled some more of the fat floral wire here from the Dollar Tree, and I had some previously that we used on that same tag project because I needed like the thickness of it. But it looks like this, like it's all jacked up because it was from a DIY fail, but I didn't want to throw it out because it still was good. The problem is with it shaped the way it is, it's hard to store. Well, here's my solution. Grab your nearest conical shape about the size of the circle that you want to make and wrap your wire around it. Use your hands to flatten it out as you go, and then make these perfect little rings, and then you can store them just as easily as you can if they were brand new. Now, I did end up doing this with all the pieces, and like I said, there were a lot of pieces. This was a failed Easter basket project that I wanted to make. I wanted to make a willowed Easter basket, and I think now I know how to do it. But at the time, no, I did not know how to do it. Plus, the Dollar Tree has better supplies now, so that makes it easier as well. So I'm just going to do this to all those pieces. It was just one roll, like a previous roll from before that was cut up in a bunch of different pieces. And then like when you go to the Dollar Tree and you get new wire, usually how you store wire is you take the very, very ends and you fold them over the parts that are going around, and that'll seal the ends and keep it from unraveling. Don't worry about that cup. If you guys think there's hardly any water in there, it's not going to spill, I promise. I promise. This was a month ago. We didn't spill the water. If you're recognizing this cup from the Canada and the Northeast, this is from Tim Hortons. My brother went to college in Buffalo, and when my sister got married in Canada, we all had to go to Tim Hortons. He just had to share it with us. That was part of his college life, and I absolutely loved it. On the way from Toronto to Niagara Falls, me and my nephew stopped at like every Tim Hortons along the way. But this cup I got when I was with Jim, because when we moved all of our stuff from New York to Missouri, we found one in Ohio, and we got so excited we almost crashed the U-Haul. Well, I didn't almost crash the U-Haul, but trying to find the exit before it was too late. The good news is you're really not allowed to drive the U-Haul in the left lane, so we were already over on the right-hand side, so that was good. We had that going for us. If you're not familiar with it, it's basically, if I always describe it as like if Dunkin' Donuts married like Panera. I don't know how else to describe it. In Canada, they had the most amazing chili that they always gave you this little piece of bread and soup as well. And then they also sell coffee and donuts and that kind of stuff. So, yeah, it says cafe and bake shop, but we liked the food there as well. It was good. All right, I digress. That's my Tim Hortons. That's my Tim Hortons introduction. For those of you who don't know, that's what that's all about. All right, so back to cleaning. Okay, so what we're working on now is just to basically divvy up seasonal items. So if you notice here, I have all of these wood things that are sort of like summer wood things. And yesterday we made like bead boxes. But we're just going to put the summer wood things and the bead boxes in the little basket hanging on the wall here. Basically just to corral the stuff that when I have a project in mind, I like to keep the stuff out. I don't want to put everything in the way and then have to go back out and get them. So when I have a project in mind, I keep everything close by. And I have a project in mind, and maybe you guys will see it soon. I hope. I pray. I hope and pray. I feel like it's like, does Jeri craft? Does she just buy craft stuff and organize craft stuff? Well, I will tell you. The truth is, I do. But sometimes I fail, and I don't share that with you.
Okay, so here's, I'm going to tilt you up so I know that I need to edit this. So, hi. Oh, that looks funny. So, I'm going to have a red line around my forehead, aren't I? Anyway, this is just a quick, what I do. So, you can do it, you cannot do it, whatever. I know there's a rule about not touching things more than once, right? But when I'm doing like the first stage of cleaning, I think we've talked about this before, but I do like a stage one. The stage one of cleaning sometimes has to encompass temporary relocations of things, because I have here is 12 different scraps of 12 different types of materials. Could I throw them out? 100%, no doubt. But I know that there will be times where I'm going to need just 5 inches by 1 inch of the gingham fabric. And I know there's going to be times where I'm going to need just 10 inches of a thick jute cord. So what I do when I'm cleaning is I take items that are like, this one goes in that box, this one goes in that drawer, this one goes in this basket, and I make a temporary hold for them. But I know in my head and in my heart, it's a temporary hold. I will not see this bag next week. This bag will be taken care of at the end of the day. But I don't really feel like I want to lose my momentum and get up now and do the 12 different things. So I just made a temporary bag of things that need to get put in different locations. When I'm completed with the table and I get up and I start putting things away, that's what this will be. But things that I have done, and I don't know if you can even see them on the floor over there. So I have I don't know if my finger's there, but I have that file basket that actually has filing in it. But what I did was I kind of tossed in it, because my basketball game is that good, I tossed in it things that need to go in all those little cubbies or out into the like kitchen area. So I have some organizing tags that I want to put in the pantry that I just tossed in there, and that again is just till I can get up. So one of the things that we talked about on our channel, we've talked about plenty of times before, is when you are cleaning and you have limitations. Now, for those of haters who are right there in the comments, zip it. Because I don't say I have a disability. I have limitations. We all have limitations. Psychological, social. You know what? If you're a hater, you have issues. I'm just saying. We all have something that we're battling. For me, I have bad knees. I played ball a long time, marched in a marching band carrying a bass drum. I have abused my knees. No. Does it help my knees that I'm morbidly obese? No. It probably hasn't helped my knees my whole life. However, that's over and done with. One of the problems that I have is getting up and down. So I try to limit that while I'm cleaning. Of course, when I have help, that's amazing, because then my help can be my little put this here, put this there, because I can't get up and down. But right now when I'm doing it by myself, which is fine, I'm happy to do it by myself. Right now I'm doing it by myself. I have to do these little tricks of tossing stuff over there, of making a little organizing basket, so I don't have to continuously get up and down. You may have to do that as well. That's all I'm saying. I'm just telling you what I do, because it's possible that there are people out there who psychologically are blocked by the fact that they have to constantly get up and down. And they don't want to task it at all. They just as soon leave it or live with it and stop being creative because it's overwhelming. And it can get overwhelming. I'm letting you know that I get overwhelmed at times too. I'm not saying that it's a perfect system. I'm not saying that we live in a perfect world. But it is what it is right now. And what it is right now is we do what we can do. And then, as Mary Fry, my friend Mary, says, do what you think you can't do. So what I do is I do what I know what I could do. And then I kind of like push myself a little bit. Let me see, maybe getting up and down 12 times is my limit. So let's see if tomorrow or the next day we can make it 14 or 20, or you understand what I'm saying. But know your limitations, but don't be afraid to push your limitations is what I wanted to tell you. All right, so I'm going to flip you down and get back to it.
Like I said, give yourself grace. Give yourself a hug from me. I really do hope that this motivates you even the slightest bit. I have to tell you that the unsatisfying ending of this video is this was continued to be a work in progress even after this day. But the good news is it's done now. And that video where I finished it is coming soon. But not for a long time. Not that it's not coming for a long time. It didn't get finished for a long time. But I just wanted to remind you, just please, 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 give yourself grace. That's the most important lesson I'd like you to take away from this. If you have a limitation of any sort, like I said before, it's psychological. It could be emotional. It could be the time. Like it could be that you don't even have a physical or mental limitation, but you're limited by the amount of time that you can spend away from your children or your grandchildren or from work. Those things are limitations as well. So this is kind of like that work smarter, not harder situation. How much time will it take you to get up and put every individual item away each time you do grab something? That's why I'm here. I just want to be here to remind you that you can do it, even though it doesn't look like I did. And as always, you guys take care. God bless, and we'll see you next time. Bye.